Hello, I'm Helen from E2 Test Prep, and today we're looking at OET Reading Part A, a method of speed reading. So if you can hear me, say hello in the chat box. It's nice to see so many people joining us on Facebook and YouTube. All right, so let's get started. Now, in the actual OET test, you will see 4 texts, but in this video, we're just going to look at a couple of texts to practice, and the topic will be hay fever. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hello, Yamanjesh, thank you for the kisses. Now, the first thing that you need to do on test day is speed read the 4 texts. Now, you should spend no longer than 60 seconds overall. This means that you should spend about 15 seconds on each text. Now, what do I mean by speed read? Now, I don't mean this. I don't mean just read word by word, okay? What I mean is that you are going to scan your eyes across the text and to get an idea, right, of what the text is about. So your eyes are going to be doing something quite quickly, right? They're moving quite quickly across the text. All right. And you're going to be asking yourself, well, what is this text about? Is it about dosages, procedures, side effects, providing advice? And you're going to be thinking, what keywords do I notice, right? Another way to think about this is who the text has been written for and how is the reader going to benefit from reading it? That's another way you can frame your speed reading. It helps you to go a bit faster. And of course, you're going to be thinking about what keywords you are noticing too. All right. Now you're going to scan your eyes across the headings, the subheadings and the text. You're going to pay close attention to nouns, right? And nouns are words which represent things. They're critical to understanding what the text is about. And actually, most of the answers are going to be nouns. So now let's have a go at speed reading a couple of texts, okay? Let's just see it come up there on the screen. And we've got 15 seconds. Let's go. 15 seconds, go. All right, and text B, let's go. Okay, I'm going to time now for text B because there was a little lag. Go for text B. All right, now pop in the chat, how was that, right? Was it hard? Was it easy to read quickly, to speed read in 15 seconds? How was it? Now, if you found that you were a little bit slow, this may be a skill that you want to practice. So let me show you a good strategy. And it's scanning, right? Scanning. Now, first, I would read from top left to bottom right, yeah, in a zigzag method, right? A zigzag way, paying close attention to headings and subheadings. And I'd also try to notice keywords and phrases such as treated, allergy, sprays, decongestants, treatment, immunotherapy, tablets, right? So in these 15 seconds, I have picked up a few keywords and kind of determined that this text is all about treatments, okay? And you could also pick up too who this is written for. Has it been written for doctors or nurses, or has it been written for a patient? And also for text B, I'm going to zigzag my eyes across the text, noticing the headings and the subheadings, and picking out keywords such as testing, allergy, sprays, decongestants, history, reaction, etc. Okay, and I can determine that this text is about testing. And again, we can pick up a little bit too that it's written for patients. Now, I would then spend 15 seconds on text C and text D, right? Now, on test day, it might feel a little bit scary, right? You think, oh, I'm wasting my time. I'm just reading. I should be writing down answers. No, keep your cool, right? You are getting time. You are being more efficient here. The first step of the preview is a huge time saver. Why? Because it makes you familiar with the texts, and it makes answering the questions so much more efficient. Now, after speed reading those texts in about 60 seconds, move straight to the matching questions. Always do these questions first because they will further orientate you to the texts, okay? Now, remember that with these questions, you are simply identifying in which text can you find information about such and such, right? And so you're going to write A, B, C, D into the gap as the answer. Now, question 1 asks, in which text can you find information about the best way to find out if an allergen is responsible for your symptoms, right? So from memory, there's someone saying it's not so clear, okay? Thank you, Tenzin. I'll come back to that. Feel free, Tenzin, if you'd like to ask a question later on, okay? But let's think about this, because if we read it carefully, it does really make sense. So question 1 is asking us, in which text can you find information about the best way to find out if an allergen is responsible for your symptoms? And we're going to go to, we're going to go to the text that we think it's in, okay? And let's say we think it's text B, right? Because that was all about testing, wasn't it, right? So finding out something, that's a way of testing. Now, I'm going to keep that question at the top. Look at the top. You can see the question. You've always got to hold that in your mind. Make sure you answer the questions. Okay, thank you, Hussein, for a question there. I'll come back to Hussein's question later because he's asking about other professions there. Okay, so what you're going to do in this part is you're simply identifying which text contains which information. So you're thinking about words that were there, but you then need to go beyond that and you need to really answer the question. You're going to look for a particular section of the text that does that. And I looked, and at the top, I can see this section of the text, right? Allergy testing. It actually answers the question. So I can confidently write B as the answer there. Right, well done, guys. A lot of you getting the right answer. Brilliant. Okay. Now, it's really important that you don't just match keywords in the question with words in the text. Sometimes the same keyword will be in 2 or more texts, so that's a poor strategy. You need to make sure that you answer the questions later on and that you've got enough time to do so. So really check the words in the question. You'll hear this a lot in the OET preparation. And remember that on test day, the booklet containing the 4 texts is separate to the question booklet. So you can easily go back and forth, right, between the texts and the questions. Excuse me. Okay, let's do one more practice question so you can be sure of the method. Now, this time you need to find out in which text can you find information about who to visit if hay fever symptoms are becoming a problem. All right, so now I'll immediately go to the text that mentioned the doctor keyword, right? I'm thinking about, okay, I see a doctor if I've got a problem. So I check text B and what happens. Okay, I'll put the question at the top. And it's asking us, in which text can you find information about who to visit if hay fever symptoms are becoming a problem? And the part of the text I'm interested in at the bottom, is saying, speak with your doctor about what the results of your allergy test mean and whether you need to make changes to your lifestyle. Okay, now think about that for a minute. Is that answer in the question? Right, the points about making changes to the lifestyle, that's something people are thinking about in the future. They're imagining that. But the question's actually asking us to think about something else, about a condition now, right? Right now, hay fever symptoms are becoming a problem. So B doesn't answer the question properly, right? A lot of people are now, surprise, yeah, coming into A. Okay, now this is really good advice for all parts of reading. Now, as a lot of you are saying, if you look closely, you can see that the answer for question 2 is actually located here in text A. At the top, it says, if symptoms persist. Okay, can you see if we skim to that section of the text here, if symptoms persist or affect your day-to-day activities, right? Now, we can see there is paraphrasing between the question and the text, right? The question says who to visit if hay fever symptoms are becoming a problem. And then the text says if symptoms persist, right? Now, the question and the text are saying the same thing, but in different ways. Easy, right? Now, you'll never see the exact same sentence used in the question and the text, although sometimes you'll find some shared keywords. All right, thank you guys for all of your input on the chat. It's fantastic. So here we have A written next to question 2. Cool, good job. So now we have an idea of how to approach the matching questions. What did we do? Well, sorry, there's the... So with the matching questions, we read the texts. We got an idea of their theme. We noticed keywords, and then we've moved back and forth from the matching questions, making sure that we truly answer the questions and not just match words. So let's do some short answer questions now. And the instruction coming up here is a little bit different to what we did before. It says, we need to use a word or short phrase from one of the texts to answer the question. Now, here's a really important tip. You need to copy the word or short phrase exactly as it is in the text. Okay, so yeah, you're not going to change it at all. And there's really a 3-step process you need to follow for short answer questions. You're going to, first of all, choose the most relevant text. Then you're going to choose which section of the text to look at. And then you're going to read carefully to find the particular word or phrase to answer the question. And in my experience, where students tend to, or candidates tend to make mistakes, is they just jump to part 3, right? They don't take time to take a bird's eye view and rapidly read to find the most relevant section of the text, okay? That's what reading, speed reading is about. And there's a lot of comments saying the title is Listening A, but you probably gathered we are in reading now. Fantastic. So that's the process that you go through. Let's have a go at the next one. And I'll pop the question at the top. So which type of medication is most suitable for long-term use? Okay, now step 1 asks us to choose the most relevant text. And considering it's about medication, then I'm going to look at text A because that's all about treatment. So I look at text A, and following step 2, I'm going to rapidly read to find the most relevant section of the text. And I can see this section here that says something about being safe for long-term use. All right. Now, with the short answer and sentence completion questions, there will always be some that are used in both. All right, both the question and the text. Okay, now I'm just going to make a little adjustment so I can see. There we go. And those keywords are really helpful. They're going to help you to locate where you need to read, right? So the keywords are useful. They give you a sense of where to be looking for in the text. Now, step 3 asks us to read carefully to find the particular word or short phrase to answer the question. So the answer here would be intranasal corticosteroid sprays. A lot of people have started to put that in the chat box. Well done. Now, it's important that you truly answer the question. Don't be fooled by the phrase, these contain low-dose steroids, right? OET read in part A often contains little nearby phrases that are designed or testing to see if you can truly read for the right information. Okay, so here I'd write the exact phrase from the text as my answer, intranasal corticosteroid sprays, making sure that I spell the words the same, yeah, and I get things like the plural noun correct. It's sprays with an S, not spray. So let's try the second question now, what may be caused by taking too many allergy tests. Now keep in mind that on test day there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 texts to read, which will make it much more challenging. But the key is those 3 steps. You choose the most relevant text. You rapidly read to find the most relevant section of the text. And then you read carefully to find the particular word or phrase to answer the question. Okay, if you hold those 3 points in your mind, it's going to really help you. So I chose text A. Now, can you see anything? Scan your eyes across the text, looking for something about taking too many allergy tests. Was there anything? Nothing. All right, so I can't find anything in text A about too many allergy tests. Let's check text B. Now, rapidly read to find the most relevant section. Now, reading here at the bottom, excuse me, we can see taking too many allergy tests may sometimes cause confusion. So I'm going to be very happy to write the correct answer there, confusion. Now, here's an important point to keep in mind. If you can't answer the question, skip it. Skip it and come back, right? Let's say you can't find the answer to question 5. You've spent about a minute looking. Then mark it and go to question 6, 7, 8, and so on. And you might come back to it right at the end. By the time you've answered the other questions, you may then know the answer to question 5. I can see lots and lots of answers getting confusion there. It's the only time it's good to get confusion, right? Brilliant. All right, let's now try the sentence completion questions. They're really almost identical to short answer, except you have to fill a gap with a word, number, or short phrase that is taken directly from the text, and you've got to complete the sentence. And this is how it looks. It's quite straightforward. And the method's exactly the same as before. I'll just put it up there for you to review it. Now, the only thing that's different with sentence completion questions is that you need to make sure the sentence really makes sense. Once you've chosen the word or number or phrase, it needs to make sense both grammatically and in terms of meaning. So let's try question 5. When undergoing desensitization, a person's age should be greater than what? All right, so we've got the keyword desensitization. And now we know we need a number of some kind to answer the question or to complete the sentence because it's related to a person's age. I don't have any idea which text to choose, so I'll try text A first of all, and I'll scan read for that keyword desensitization. Now, can you see it in the text? Don't read, look. Can you see it? I can, it's in the final paragraph. Great, so now we've located the relevant section of the text, and now we need to answer the question, right? A person's age should be greater than, I'll let you put the answers in the chat box. Let's see what we get. Oh, lovely, lovely. All right. 5 years, yes. And that's the correct answer. Now I'm seeing some people writing, well, maybe 5 or 5 year. No, everyone's written 5 years. Brilliant. Okay, that's the correct answer. And good job for remembering the unit years. Okay, you do need to write that fully. It's not 5 months, it's not 5 days, it's not 5 weeks, it's 5 years. All right. All right, so let's move on to the next one. And just a little reminder there, do make sure that the information you write makes sense. Okay, let's look at question 6. People with high blood pressure as well as should not use decongestants. All right. Well, a decongestant is a treatment. So let's check out text A again, right? And in that text, I've chosen it. I'm going to scan my eyes again quickly to try to find the word decongestant. And I'm going to look for it rather than read it. Can you see it? Now notice that when you're identifying a keyword like decongestant, you aren't reading the text carefully. You're looking for the word. It's the same type of looking as when you look for your car keys or your wallet. So you keep the word decongestant and you look for that word in the text. All right, so there's the keyword up there, but we're only halfway there. We now need to complete the sentence, which says people with high blood pressure as well as should not use decongestants. And there's a hint with the word people and the phrase as well as. Okay, and lots of people have identified it now. We can see pregnant women. Now let's just check that we're writing it correctly. Okay, pregnant women. If you had written pregnant woman, you would have got it wrong. All right, big capitals from Jobin, pregnant women, wonderful. All right, so hopefully you got that right. All right, so now let's recap the key steps needed to ace reading part A. When you first open the text paper, spend 60 seconds rapidly reading the 4 texts to identify the theme and pick up some keywords. Then go straight to the matching questions in which text and make sure that you can answer the questions, not just match words. With the short answer and sentence completion questions, first, you're going to choose the most relevant text. Second, you're going to rapidly read to find the most relevant section of the text. You're going to read carefully to find the particular word or phrase to answer the question. And that's it, right? Now, it will all start to make perfect sense when you start doing it. I can see in the comments how quickly you guys are getting it. That's fantastic. You're doing really, really well with it. Obviously, it's going to be harder when you've got the 4 texts, but practice really makes perfect, okay? You will get faster, you will get more accurate, you will get more confident with practice. It really makes perfect. So now I'd like to invite any questions about reading part A and speed reading. Feel free to pop them into the chat box. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in the chat box just yet. Any questions from you guys? All right, so if you found this video useful, please do check out E2 Test Prep. We've got lots of resources, methods, live classes, one-to-one tutorials, and to help you to ace this test, to get through your OET. Thank you very much for joining. I'm Helen, and see you next time. Bye-bye.